My name is Toluani, 28 years old. Born and raised in the vibrant heart of Lagos State, the city is as relentless as it is beautiful a place where the sun rises over the lagoon, only to be swallowed by the endless traffic jams, the sound of horns blaring, and the hustle of millions trying to make something of themselves. Lagos doesn't give you room to be ordinary. It sharpens you, tests you, and in the process, it makes you stronger. My life up until 2024 had been steady. I woke each morning with routines that kept me balanced, work deadlines, church programs, calls with my siblings, the occasional brunch with friends at lucky cafes. It was fulfilling, yet predictable. My aunties never failed to remind me that a woman's true crown is her husband, but I would smile politely and deflect. Marriage was something I tucked away on a distant shelf, not out of disdain, but because I wasn't ready. I wanted to discover myself fully before I shared that journey with someone else. But destiny, as I would soon learn, is not a respecter of plans. That was the year I met Aderemi Victor, a man who disrupted my carefully arranged expectations. He wasn't the type to walk into a room and announce his presence, but his presence was felt all the same: tall, well-groomed, with a calmness that seemed out of place in a city addicted to chaos. Aderemi carried himself with quiet authority. When he spoke, people leaned in not because he was loud, but because his words carried weight. At first, I saw only the surface: disciplined, striking, and generous. But as the days unfolded, I realized he had a way of seeing beyond appearances. Where others might have dismissed me as just another Lagos girl, he looked deeper, as though searching for something hidden. Later, he would confess that he had noticed me long before I noticed him. He said there was something about the way I carried myself, not just my outward appearance, but the grace in my laughter, the sincerity in my conversations, and the fire in my eyes when I spoke about my dreams. "You weren't just beautiful," he told me once, his voice steady but tender. "You were purposeful. You had this light that couldn't be ignored." Even in a crowded room, I knew from the start that you weren't a woman a man could play games with. You were the kind of woman a man prayed to find. His words humbled me. For so long, I thought I had kept marriage and love at bay, shielding my heart from expectations. Yet here was a man who saw me not as incomplete without him, but as a whole, brilliant being worth pursuing. But if you think our beginning was some picture-perfect romance, you'd be mistaken. Our story was not one of instant fireworks or dramatic confessions. It was quieter than that, more fragile in its early days. There were moments of hesitation, missed calls, misunderstandings that almost nipped things in the bud. Yet, every time we found our way back to each other, it felt like life itself was whispering, "Pay attention. This is where you belong." Looking back now, I see how God orchestrated it all. In a city as vast and overwhelming as Lagos, where millions cross paths each day, our meeting could have been nothing more than coincidence. But it wasn't. It was the first thread in a love story that, though far from perfect, was ours and that made it sacred.